So I wanted to talk to you today about getting the vaccine, and I wanted to tell you my personal reasons why I got the vaccine, because I'm asked this a lot. And this may be helpful for some of you who are still worried about getting vaccine. So the first thing to know is that the vaccine is a tiny part of the coronavirus. It's not the whole coronavirus itself. If you imagine you are getting the headlamp of a car and the coronavirus is the whole car. So you're just getting a tiny part of it. So I think that that's the first thing to remember. The second thing to think about, and what I used as being very helpful, is to look at the history of mRNA vaccines, which is what the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are. And mRNA vaccines have been around for 10 years or so. And they've been gradually improved on during this time. There has already been a Zika mRNA vaccine trial and a rabies mRNA vaccine trial that didn't come to market yet for a variety of reasons. And the current COVID vaccine coming to market is really a miracle of science that it has, and that it has 95% effectiveness for preventing symptomatic COVID, which is truly remarkable. So the thing to remember about the mRNA vaccines as well, just looking at them, that there are other mRNA vaccines currently being used, and that's particularly in the cancer world, which is for melanoma particularly, is where they are successfully using these mRNA vaccines. But for me, when I looked at, do I want to get this vaccine, I went to look at what is COVID and what disease am I preventing. And we now know that 10% of people, so that's 1 in 10 people who get even mild COVID, end up with long-term damage from the COVID, whether or not it's heart, lung, or even an autonomic neuropathy. And we have marathon runners who can't walk up the stairs because their blood pressure falls in their boots and their pulse goes through the ceiling because of the autonomic neuropathy. So that's 1 in 10. And then we now know that the vaccine, to try and prevent that 1 in 10 risk, there is 1 in tens of thousands of people who you have to vaccinate before you get a severe allergic reaction. So when I personally took a step back and took all the emotion out of it, all the media hype out of it, and said, what is the risks? Do I want to get COVID or do I want to get a vaccine? A COVID, 1 in 10 risk of severe illness, for prolonged illness, rather than severe, and the vaccine, 1 in tens of thousands risks of a severe side effect. It was a no-brainer for me, and I went ahead and got the vaccine. And so I wanted to share that with people because everybody's asking, and I'm thrilled I got the vaccine. So I'm going to wish everybody a very happy new year.